Remember laying awake last week at 2 a.m. and you thought about something really embarrassing that you did, and you thought about, what if I never did that? What if there was another me somewhere out there who never did that? Well, what if there was another version of yourself out there doing much better things or maybe something far worse? Well, let's take a step out of ourselves and into a whole other universe where the theory of life in parallel universes can exist because of superposition, the quantum world, and particle interactions. So, to understand parallel universes, you have to understand the basics of quantum physics. It sounds kind of daunting at first, but just hear me out for a moment. You and everything around you is made up of quantum physics. And so the law of quantum physics states that macroscopic objects, aka this is objects that can be seen by the naked eye, so it could be you, it could be me, it could be this cup, which would be an inanimate object. So, inanimate objects have been seen to go into superposition. And what is superposition? It means an object can be observed in two separate realities. So the only problem is that we don't really do experiments on humans to see if that's possible, but it has been proved by a scientist, Friedman, that an inanimate object has been put into two states of realities, which is superposition. And so another thing we have to look at is if that was done to humans, it would mean that they were being decoupled, which is also known as decoherence. And this is not based off size. So the difference between me and the difference between that cup, it does not matter, and it should not matter according to decoherence. So our size as humans cannot limit decoupling. So at this point, our size and the fact of us living versus an inanimate object are not limiting the possibilities. The next thing we can look at is space-time, which is considered flat. And according to Fritz Kretschmar, the number of possible particle configurations in multiple universes would be limited to 10, 10, 1, 2, 2 distinct possibilities. So essentially, with an infinite number of cosmic patches, the particle arrangements within them must repeat infinitely many times over. So that's essentially a parallel universe. Its particles just repeating themselves over and over and over, and it creates cosmic patches, either different from Mars or the exact same as ours, minus one tiny particle, so it's just a little bit different. So it would be like you somewhere else, just a tiny bit different. It would just be one small change. But as they kind of grow and grow and grow, it becomes more different. So to put it simply, space-time would mean that there could be other worlds exactly like you and somewhere completely different because of the infinite particle arrangements. So with that said, particle arrangements are also involved with inflation. So you probably know inflation relative to finance. Well, it's kind of similar in the way that it keeps growing. So with physics, it means a wave that spreads out over time, so it keeps going and it keeps going until it either ends or it results in something like the Big Bang. So because particles keep separating and expanding and growing and they're being pushed farther apart, they'll eventually burst into what would be another world or universe. And since that universe is made up from the same original particles but split, it would mean different versions of ourselves made from the original that keep separating, expanding, and changing. So again, it would be our world where particles keep separating, they keep going and going and going, according to inflation, and then it either stops or it, boom, like the Big Bang, creates another universe. And this keeps happening from all of those universes until it creates all of these different parallel universes from the one. So what does this mean for us It means there are all kinds of scientific facts involving quantum physics, multiple realities, and infinite outcomes of particles coming together and separating. It also means that we are here in this current universe where what you are doing now is going to affect the rest of your life, so we can't worry about what our other self is doing in another parallel universes. Not to sound corny, but live for the moment, live for what you have, because there could be an alternate version of yourself out there not living their best life.